Good morning.
Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam, and if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradleys Fun. This is the Daily Dish with me, your host, Ron E. Bradley, and I hope that wherever you are out there in the world watching today, that you are having a phenomenal day, morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, doesn't matter, whenever you're watching. I hope that you are in good spirits and you're having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day, as of the recording and live streaming of this stream that you are watching right now, it is the third day of March 2025. Yes, we started this month on a weekend. March 1st was a Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, March 1st and 2nd. I don't love starting months on the weekend because it's always fun to start like Monday 1st would be like that would be the ideal for a show like this because we love to get started things off right the very first of the week, first day of the week, and it could have been the first day of the month. But it's like I love the fact that we have 31 days after an extremely short February because February is a short month. We have 31 days. I don't know why they don't do like, why don't they just make 2 of the 31-day months 30-day months, and then we can have February be longer. Seems to me like you could do that. Take 2 of the months that are 31 days and just make them 30 days, and then make February 30 days, and it would all even itself out. Anyway, that would be a huge shift in the calendar change, and people in this day and age with 8 billion people on the planet don't like shifts and those changes. Let me check my audio real quick. Audio check, audio check, audio check, audio check, audio check, audio check. Let me check my audio real quick. Yeah, there it is. Okay, we're good. And it's probably just like echoed there for you guys for a second. And I just want to say thank you. Everybody that's here this morning that's already come in to the chat. Thank you guys so much. I know that starting off on a Monday is like my favorite day to do the show because usually I'm well rested after the weekend. So like I slept so much yesterday. I don't know if it was allergies or what. I always get so geared up when Saturday comes, Saturday, Sunday, because I'm like, oh, weekend, I'm gonna get to do stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but when the weekends come, I'm just like exhausted or something, and I never get jack squat done on the weekends. I want to do stuff on the weekends, but I have no energy left, and it's like, and now, at least right now, as of the show today, I'm feeling really, really good. For the first time in a little while, so that's nice. I'll get my workout in, and yeah, so it should be a good day today, no matter what happens. It should be a good day. Speaking of good day, I am so happy to see all of you out there in the audience watching. I want to say hi to everybody. As you guys know, outside of the caffeine that is provided by this. Oh, and by the way, I have to apologize. That whole thing where I was getting tired actually started on Friday. Friday, I wasn't feeling good and had some personal things I needed to take care of, and I wasn't here for the Daily Dish on Friday, so I apologize for that. But now we're in a new month. February's gone. Brand new month, brand new start to everything. And I'm really, really happy about that. Especially, so for you guys that don't know how YouTube works, for YouTube, you get one paycheck per month. That's it. So anything that I make on YouTube financially, so this is my job, this is my full-time job, this is all I do to make a living right now is YouTube. Anything that I make financially from YouTube, that's from you guys, donations, advertisements, any of that kind of stuff, I only get paid out one time per month. So anything that I made in the month of January, I don't get paid that out until the 21st of February. Same thing for February. Whatever I made in February, I don't get paid until the 21st of March. And it's really, really different from like my last job where I literally got paid on the day that I worked. I do miss that a little bit, that aspect of being a server. It's nice to like it, and it's nice. It's the only aspect that I really miss of being a server because the only part of the job that I liked was actually talking to people, and I still get to do that. That's what I do. Like on YouTube, I talk to you guys. It's awesome. I love it. But as far as the pay is concerned, well, just getting started out, for the first, what is it? June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. So for the first 8 months of my YouTube career, I got paid zero, right across the board, 0, 0, 0, boom. And that's a challenge. It's a challenge to start a YouTube channel and have no income for a while, and then with the way YouTube works and the things, it's just different, right? So I just appreciate all of you guys being here. You guys, you give me the desire, the motivation, the energy, the draw. I mean, when I say that you're the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning, I am not kidding. You are my energon.
A toast. Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy.
This stuff's the greatest!
Energy. There we go. Toast. A toast to everybody out there in the audience watching. I appreciate you guys so much because it's because of you that I'm here and I'm able to be here and do the thing that I love, which is talking to all of you about pop culture and theme parks and all the fun stuff that we are able to chat about every single day. And speaking of you, let's start to welcome all of you into the show and into the chat, because that's what the Daily Dish is about. First through the door this morning was Snortapoopus Q Burr. Hello, humans and other critters. Well, we appreciate that. Hello, Snortapoopus. And I saw you early enough through the door that I was able to chat with you even before the show started. That service dog, unfortunately, says, had a terrible day. 6 men rode ATVs on my road by my house for 6 hours straight Saturday, causing a migraine. We'll catch the replay. I hate nice weather because of crap like this. I don't know where you live, but there's a field a mile from where I live, maybe 2. And it's over by the Tupperware World Headquarters, which I don't even know if Tupperware is operating right now at all. I don't know if they went out of business or what, but at least the building for the Tupperware World Headquarters is right by where I live. There's a big field over there, and every Saturday there's ATVs over there, but it's not really around anybody. So at least, it's good over there. Snortapoopa says, oh no, that service dog, how will get better soon? And I said, good morning coming in. And Pam Empson is here. Pam, we always appreciate you when I see you in the chat here or see you on my wife's channel, on her chat. I love it. Thank you so much for being here, because I know that you're also across the pond too. And it's always interesting to me because I speak, of course, from an American perspective, and I don't always know when you're from England, when you're from Germany, across the pond, wherever, how you guys are taking in the world events that are going on here. Like, I don't really talk about news stuff or politics too much on my channel, like the whole Trump-Zelensky meeting or whatever. I can tell you that from a personal point of view, as an American, of course, I want to see my president stand up and put someone in their place who doesn't even have the respect to come to the White House wearing a suit and tie. That is disrespectful. I wouldn't show up in this outfit, with this hat on to the White House. No, if I'm going into the White House, especially to meet the president, I'm gonna wear a suit and tie. If I'm a foreign dignitary, I mean, it makes sense because of where this guy comes from. If you know about Zelensky's history, he ain't no world leader. The guy's a freaking entertainer, and that's fine. He was good at being an entertainer. I like to watch his stuff. I laugh. It's funny. 10, 20 years ago, whatever that was. But he has no business being the president of anything. And I am so glad that our president and vice president put him in his place, because that's where he belongs. And I don't know how that plays out on the world stage, but I would imagine most people who are thinking people and have common sense in the entire planet go, you know what? It's nice to see a president of the United States who's coherent again. So, hi Pam, hi Snortapoopus. And then I saw Tom F. come into the house. What is up, Tom F? Hey, hey, all. Juliet says hi to Tom. What was that? Oh, that was a Windows security thing. And we've got Snort to Poopa's Q Burr. Let's see. Pam says hi to Tom. Tom says hi to everybody. Izzo's Place. Izzo, I like the video that you dropped. I saw that with you doing what was it? The voice of Fozzie Bear. Moving right along. That was pretty cool. It's on Izzo's Place's channel if you guys want to check that out. We've got Snortapoopas, Tom, Izzo. Hey, you glorious bear. How are you? Thanks, Tom. It's going to be a good week. Izzo's Place says, I gave up drinking for February the 29th, 30th, and 31st. Well, that is good, considering those dates don't actually exist. Let's see the Hobbit calendar, 12 30-day months and 5 or 6 days outside the months. Oh, well, that would be interesting. Good morning from Andy W. Equus Heart says, I'm late for a very important date. You're on time for this. As you know, typically the first half hour of the show I take to chat with you guys. And the whole point of that is that it's why I moved the show up from 10 o'clock to 9:30 is because more people are probably going to come in and filter in as the time goes by. And it just gives me more of a chance to chat with you all by moving the show up. I do my chatting stuff first. For anybody that's watching the replay, the first half hour of this is typical chat. So if you want to see the stories and you want to fast forward, just fast forward about a half an hour into the show and we'll get to the stories. So just let everybody know. Dan's Life at the Kingdom says, good morning, everybody. Snortapoopas is here. Dan's Life at the Kingdom. Hello. And who else we got? We got more and more people coming in. Jeremy Heath and Izzo's Place. What is up, Jeremy? Good to see you. Sorry, I was at AFK. Just had to call my sister for her birthday. Happy birthday to your sister. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Peggy. I see you. I see that you're new. It's good to see you in the chat. Peggy, we're going to be talking about Snow White, Snow Woke. We're going to be talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, Captain Falcon, Captain Eagle, whatever you want to call him. I don't call him Captain America. You know why I don't call him Captain America? Because he himself said that he's not Captain America. He said, I don't like to think of it as standing for America. And if you say that, you're not Captain America. I don't know what you're captain of, but you're not Captain America. And Anthony Mackie is the one who said that you can't take it back. No take backs, Tony. You say you're not America and you don't stand for America, well, then you're not America. And Peggy is here. Yeah, Peggy. Peggy has a question. What's your question, Peggy? Did you write it? Did you write it somewhere? Hopefully you did. I'd wear my Splash Mountain gear while visiting the White House. I would not. I would just wear a suit. Now, if I wanted to wear a tie that happens to have Briar Rabbit on the tie, then I might do that. Pretty much 50-50 here. Support for the Don here, Ron. I think some virtue signaling going on. Well, you know, when I was serving at Disney and I served a lot of people from overseas, all I can tell you is that time, the vast majority of the people I served, when I would talk to them about it or they would open up about it, they supported Trump. So and I'm talking the vast majority from overseas. Now, it doesn't really matter because they're not American. They can't vote, but whatever. Peggy, what is your question? What is your question? How do y'all react to Hamilton? Are you talking about the play? Listen, Hamilton is probably a great piece of art. I don't particularly like it because to me, as a musical theater major from and somebody who is not starred in, but I participated in lots of professional music theater in my life. I was in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat for a 3-year run in Branson, Missouri. I am not a fan of Hamilton, and that's specifically because I don't think rap belongs in musicals. It's a little strange for me personally. I just Izzo's place, that link is no longer valid. Unfortunately, I will have to get a different link because everything with Beachbody changed. So if you, I'm not going to put that link up. Yeah, no, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Everything with Beachbody changed back in September of last year, and I am a Body affiliate, but the link is completely different, and I would have to get that to you. It's my fault for not changing the links on stuff, so I apologize to you for that. But yeah, it's what does this say? Can you put a question on the stream, Izzo? Yes, this one is correct. And there's a really strange there's a quicker link to that. It is it's a bit.ly link. I might have it in the pinned comment. Oh, I don't have that one in the pinned comment. Oh well. But yeah, and PayPal's a better one than that one. I'm not using Buy Me a Coffee as much anymore. No big deal, Izzo. No big deal. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate the modding in the chat too. Speaking of support and speaking of modding, I got to tell you guys about our celebrations that we do here on the channel. So, as you can see, if you look in the chat, I have a goal of 5 super chats. Super chats can be 99 cents or more. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of support. It can be anything you want, but any little bit helps out the channel, and we appreciate that. But we love to celebrate you guys anytime that happens. So a super chat, super thanks, super sticker, buy me a coffee, PayPal, somebody buys something from our spread shop, somebody becomes a member of the channel, or somebody drops gifted memberships, or somebody even has a member milestone chat. Any of those types of things we love to celebrate on this channel. And we have some kind of let's just call it dance celebrations that we do. So anytime any of those things are dropped, get your member emojis ready if you're a member of the channel, and drop those member emojis during our celebrations. Our celebrations look something like this.
Is it too much? Too much? It's the perfect!
Oh, this is just the best of my scene. So Pam Empson says the problem here, Rod, is most Brits do not follow U.S. politics, so they do not see the sense behind Trump's thinking. What the sense is behind Trump's thinking is that out of all of the candidates that ran for president last time, he's the only one that seems to even have the ability to think at all. As we know, Biden has dementia. It was quite revealed, I mean, blatantly revealed during his debate with President Trump. And that was, it was so obvious. It was, and on the world stage, I don't know why the other things that he did not get the media attention that they should have, but he literally crapped his pants on the world stage in front of leaders. He fell asleep constantly. There was all kinds of issues with There's all kinds of issues with Biden. Congratulations, Captain Fandom Nerd. You got a gifty from Izzo's Place. We'll celebrate that. Let's celebrate that with, I like this one. Heck, we'll celebrate Peggy coming back as well. So thank you guys so much for that support. But yeah, the thing for me, more than anything else, I'm just so happy that we actually know who our president is right now. For those people who are have been putting down Trump and saying, "Oh, Elon's the real president," that's not even close to true. Not even remotely close to true. First of all, neither one of them are getting paid for what they're doing. That's crazy, right? Trump doesn't take a paycheck. Just put the question in the chat, Peggy. That's all you got to do. You don't have to say I have a question. Just put the question in the chat. I'll probably answer it. I usually have time. You don't have to ask a question. Just ask the question. You're good, and I appreciate you. But yeah, the thing about it's nice to know who our president is. First of all, we know that our president is President Trump. With Biden, you had no clue who was running the country, just zero clue. Who the heck is it? Is it his wife? Is it Barack? Is it somebody else? Who is actually doing the things? Because he literally had papers put in front of him, and he goes, "What is this that I'm signing?" He didn't even know. His own executive orders. He didn't know what he was signing. It was so crazy. And so I just like being, knowing who our leader is. Now, if I knew who our leader was and it was Zelensky, I don't think I'd be very happy about that, because the guy he's an entertainer. He's a clown, a literal clown. Peggy, you don't have to say you're sorry either. Just ask a question. You're good to go, Peggy. I appreciate you. Whatever the question is, just ask and you're good to go. Anyway, enough talk. I'm not this is not a political channel. If I ever want to start a political channel, maybe I will, but this channel is not about that. This channel is about entertainment, pop culture, theme parks, all of that kind of fun stuff that you might also see on WDW Pro, which is where I have my biggest presence across the interwebs, because I'm on a lot of pros videos and the pro show and all that kind of stuff. So let me see over here. Okay, good. Checking these things out. I want to share the spread shop. So we have a shop, and we call it Follow the Bradley's Fun Spread Shop. Put this on the stage so you can see. There's the Make Disney Walt Again hat that I'm wearing, okay? What does Make Disney Walt Again mean? Well, what Make Disney Walt Again means is that the company, the Walt Disney Company, under Bob Iger's horrible leadership, has been veering away from Walt. For example, Tom Sawyer's Island was literally created by Walt Disney himself. Walt was the Imagineer that created that outlined the design for Tom Sawyer's Island, first on a piece of notebook paper or something like that. It was him. We're gonna, Peggy, this is exactly what we'll be talking about on the show. She is a little messed up. She's kind of a lot messed up. And you'll see more videos coming out as we get closer to snow about that. But yes, indeed. So we got the Make Disney Walt Again merchandise, hats, shirts, everything. We also have our Follow the Bradleys Fun Fedora Finds t-shirt, because as you know that the news commentary that I do is called Fedora Finds, and so that's what that's about. And we have our family avatar logo as well, in the nice black. All of those color swatches over to the right are all of the different colors you can get. Oh, well, thank you so much. Look at this. Peggy just bought a hat, and probably got the very, very cool. Appreciate that. And hey, look at that. I've got a link straight to the store that way too. So yeah, absolutely. Just right to the spread shop, right to the purchase. Maritz's Yarn and Cat Crafts is in the house. And yeah, I appreciate all of that support so much. But we do want to, in fact, talk about certain things. The first thing I want to chat about real quick is Captain America Brave New World. We have been talking about Captain America Brave New World. It is a Disney property. It relates to the parks, right? And the reason it relates to the parks is because, well, I don't know, did they have Falcon and Captain America and the new Falcon? Do they have them meeting at Disneyland? I don't know if there's anybody who is over on the West Coast that can let me know. I haven't seen any of that. Usually they will have anything that's modern and present, they will have in the park over at Disneyland. It's Disney Marvel and Disney Marvel, they're a disaster right now. Well, okay, they're a half disaster, because we're going to talk about something tomorrow that hopefully is going to be a positive. We're going to talk about Daredevil coming, and the next 2 days we'll be talking quite a bit about Daredevil. So, and hopefully that will be a good thing. I would love to be talking all good things about Disney. I would love to. Yes, Disney Star Wars is a complete disaster, unfortunately. I was watching a Star Wars retrospective on YouTube, and it brought all of the feelings back about how good Star Wars was in the 1970s and 80s when it first began, and how big of a deal it was. And then the prequels came out, and they kind of went downhill a little bit. Except I personally liked the prequels a lot, but I like the prequels because it was the era of, even though the Jedi were waning at that point in time, you got to see the Jedi powers. One of the coolest Jedi powers that you saw in the prequels was used one time and one time only. And you're like, okay, so did they like, it's like a video game where you have like this one power button that you can use, but you're only allowed to use it one time during the game. And that was in the very beginning of The Phantom Menace, when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon had Jedi fast speed when they ran. You guys remember that scene? Like, it was only one scene, and they ran away from the droids, and they went super fast, and it's never been used again, to the best of my knowledge, in all of Star Wars. It's wild. Anyway, Izzo's Place says, I liked the original trilogy and the prequels, and on a recent rewatch, I don't mind Jar Jar even. Misa called Jar Jar Binks. Misa most annoying as a character in Star Wars ever, except for Bob Iger. Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy is super more annoying than Misa. Yes, the worst Star Wars character ever is Kathleen Kennedy. She has replaced Jar Jar. Can you imagine Misa called Kathleen Kennedy? Oh, golly, yeah. Oh, it's getting worse. Peggy says it's getting worse. I was at Disney World and there was a rainbow lightsaber. The heck? I think there've always been like kind of rainbow lightsabers, but yeah, you're probably talking one that specifically represents LGBT. And we like, who needs that? That's kind of ridiculous. Anyhow, we want to talk about Captain America Brave New World, which is not at all about Captain America. I don't know if you watched the movie, but if you watched it, you may have noticed that it's actually a Hulk sequel without the Hulk. And it should have just been called President Ross. Like that should have been the name of the movie. President Ross, the Red Hulk. That would have been the perfect name for that movie. This is out of the numbers. And we're literally looking at the raw numbers, the box office details. So Captain America, all right, has brought in at the worldwide, the global box office haul, after 3 full weekends, it has brought in about $342 million total. Okay. Now let's break down this number. $342 million. For some movies, that would be amazing. All right. But it all depends on how much was spent. How much was spent on this movie to get it out to the public? Because we know that whatever the spend is on a movie, the studio that produces it gets about half of the box office back. So at 340, what did I say? 343 million, 342 million, 342 million. That means that the studio, right? The studio has received back approximately $171 million. So the reported production budget, I'm going to say that 3 times in a row. The reported production budget was $180 million. Okay. Hey, later, Izzo. Good to see you. Got to get to work. Going to be on my knees all day sitting tile. Oh, tile. I've laid tile before. Not the easiest thing to do. Make sure you got the knee pads, the gloves on, and all that kind of stuff. And keep it safe, Izzo. Stay safe. So yeah, the reported production budget for Captain America: Brave New World is $180 million. It's only made back $171 million, which means it's if you take the 50% of the box office, and that's 171.5, right, million dollars. So it's not even made back its reported production budget yet. Now, in addition to the reported production budget, here are some of the other costs. 4 sets of reshoots. After the 4 sets of reshoots, 4 new sets of editing, 4 new sets of music, 4 new sets of bringing people in for the reshoots, 4 new sets of CGI. All of that ballooned the budget. Some people estimate that the production budget of this film went to $375 million. Then there's the advertising budget. The advertising budget was likely over $100 million, and I saw a lot of ads for this leading up to it. I'm suspecting it's about $150 million advertising budget. You put those numbers together, and you get $400 to $500 million was the cost. The cost for this. Okay, that would mean that at the box office, in order to break even and start to the place where this movie was making a profit, it would have had to made anywhere between $800 million and $1 billion. I don't think that is going to happen at the box office. I don't think this is going to break 450 unless they let this thing leg out for 10 weeks. But even then, I don't know. And here's the other problem with the only $342 million at the box office. It's had zero competition. There's nothing at the box office competing with this thing on the blockbuster level. So that creates a real problem. I think I'm doing the Max Headroom thing this morning. Yeah, a little bit. I've got a little bit of Max Headroom going on. That's okay. But yeah, so as of right now, 3 weekends in, Captain America: Brave New World is a big, massive flop. We're talking so far, if it's brought $171 million into the company, Disney, you're probably down about $330 million, close to $330 million in loss. This could end up having been, I would say it'll probably end up being $100 to $200 million loss for Disney in the end at the box office. That's a flop, guys. It's when we talk about flops, we're talking about the finances, and it is what it is. You cannot deny that. We have Izzo's Place. I know he had to leave. Wanted us to celebrate, gifted a membership. We're going to do a real quick celebration again for that. As a matter of fact, since Juliet said that his link is up, let's do the Culture Bear celebration. Gotta celebrate Culture Casino. Let me get his link linked up here. And we're going to save that. There we go. And Culture's talking about the Oscars today. And we're going to talk about the Oscars for just a brief moment before we get to the main story. Culture Bear Jamboree says the number. Yeah, absolutely, Izzo. Absolutely. We thank you so much for your support. But yes, before we get to the main story, let's check in on the Oscars. And to check in on the Oscars, we are going to go to thatparkplace.com VIP section. Now, if you're not already subscribed to That Park Place, I highly recommend subscribing to That Park Place. Kind of surprised Disney didn't get a win. They didn't get a single win of anything. That's amazing. The downfall of Disney just gets where they can't even get a win from the woke Oscars. That's crazy. There was a movie, the movie that won Best Picture. I literally heard of it for the first time this morning as I was looking at the Oscar stuff. I can't remember the name of it. Something one. You can type the name in the chat. If you no, I mean, like, nobody watched. My wife was watching the Oscars last night. I wasn't that interested. I was actually in the midst of falling asleep at that point in time. So, but type the name of the winning movie in the chat. Anora. Thank you, Juliet. I appreciate that. Anora. Literally, the first time I heard of the movie Anora was this morning when I was reading about the Oscars, and that's fine because the Oscars are the Academy Awards. The Academy Awards are in-industry awards only. They are literally, they were relegated to like Hollywood and the Motion Picture Academy, and that's all. That's got to be like the wokest of the woke people in the world. They're not talking about great entertainment for the masses. They're talking about what they consider art created for them. That's it. So yeah. That's all the Academy cares about is the art that is created for them. So it has nothing to do with what is going to be well received by us common folk out here in the world, like real normal people who are the vast majority of the humans that make up the world. They don't care about us. They really don't. But out of That Park Place, it's a pretty good story about the Oscars and what did happen and how it went down last night. So let's check this out. Again, This is right out of thatparkplace.com. This is I'm in the VIP section, so I don't know if this article is available to everybody, but you're going to see it here. Oscars avoid Trump, Hollywood elites break from recent tradition, and actually focus on movies over politics. So maybe this is a good thing, right? By Mr. Montanaro. The 97th Academy Awards, aka the Oscars, made headlines not for grand political statements, but for what was missing: any mention of President Donald Trump. While Hollywood has long relished taking jabs at the current president, this year's ceremony was eerily silent on political matters. Despite being one of the longest Oscar broadcasts in recent history, not a single presenter, winner, or host uttered Trump's name. A stark contrast to years past when late-night comedians and Hollywood elites openly ridiculed him at every opportunity. Even Jimmy Kimmel, who has previously delighted in reading Trump's tweets live on air, found himself largely sidelined from the conversation. The former late-night host once read out Trump's scathing reviews of his Oscar hosting, including Trump's critique of Kimmel's monologue at the 2024 ceremony. But this year, nothing. The shift in tone raises questions about Hollywood's waning influence and the effectiveness of its political grandstanding. So I'm just, my own take on this is I'm finding it kind of interesting to read because, again, I didn't really watch the Oscars last night, the Academy Awards. I am really realizing that I need to clean my glasses, though. I don't know if it's my glasses or my eye, but I have a spot that's smudged. I can't see very well. It was my glasses. That's much, much better. So for me, it's one of those things where, like, okay, the Oscars, they happen, the Academy Awards happen. My wife loves that stuff. She's originally from Venezuela, and that's they're dialed into the whole American thing. As a matter of fact, and of course, she voted for Trump, so that's interesting too, because a lot of people are like, but anyway, made $15 million in America and cost $6 million to make overall. Worldwide would be $40 million. That must have been a Nora that you're talking about there. They had Zegler and Godot present. It was awkward. Were they together, Arlene? Did they present together or not? I'm very, very interested in, are they going to have them together for any pressers leading up to Snow White? But we'll talk about Snow White here in just a few minutes. Right now, let's get back to that Park Place story. Hollywood bet big and lost. For years, the entertainment industry positioned itself as a cultural powerhouse, aligning heavily with candidates like Kamala Harris. Yet the results of the 2024 election made it clear their efforts failed to resonate with everyday Americans. Trump not only secured the electoral college victory, but also won the popular vote, a decisive rejection of Hollywood's political messaging. And despite what other people, pundits, may say as far as the electoral college is concerned, it was in fact an electoral landslide. And the fact that a Republican won the popular vote by millions, like over 2 million, 3 million, close to that, that's also considered a landslide, people. The industry, once seen as a tastemaker, now faces a reckoning over its dwindling influence. There's Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande as they sang Defying Gravity at the Oscars, which that was a pretty good performance. Compare today's restrained Oscars to past years when award shows regularly featured Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky beamed in via satellite, or A-list celebrities donning pins and ribbons to signal their latest cause. At the 2023 Golden Globes, Zelensky delivered a speech praising the quote-unquote free world, but now, just last week, he was sitting across from Trump at the White House, engaged in a tumultuous conversation in which he was ejected from the presidential residence. A muted show. Host Conan O'Brien, a comedian known for avoiding politically charged topics, briefly acknowledged the devastating Los Angeles wildfires But beyond that, the show largely avoided world affairs. Even Hollywood's usual grandstanding over international conflicts, was noticeably subdued. Daryl Hannah managed a brief Slava Ukraine while presenting best editing, and a vague remark about standing up to a powerful Russian made it into O'Brien's monologue. Beyond that, the Academy largely kept its head down. In one of the most unexpected moments of the night, notorious anti-Trump actor Mark Hamill took the stage as a presenter known for his unhinged social media rants against the president. Hamill stunned audiences by staying completely on script. Perhaps he learned his lesson after many public embarrassments, such as your pants falling down, which you can see on the channel in another video. He also apparently learned his lesson about wearing a proper belt. Here it is. After his wardrobe malfunction at the BAFTAs, where his pants fell down mid-speech. A Hollywood reckoning. The Academy's reluctance to dive headfirst into political commentary this year suggests a larger shift. Perhaps after years of lecturing audiences, the industry is starting to realize that Americans aren't looking to award shows for political sermons. The resounding rejection of Hollywood's preferred candidates and narratives in the 2024 election was a wake-up call, and the silence at this year's Oscars speaks volumes. Yes, sometimes silence is deafening. And in the case of Hollywood and the elites there, I'm always happy to hear nothing but silence. They sound better when they shut their mouths, unless they're actually in the movie that they're supposed to be acting in. Let's see here. They had Zegler and Disney. Let's see. Oh, there's Dylan Soup says, "Hey Rod, howdy chat. Hey Dylan, what's up?" They did not add Tony Todd at the in memoriam. That is sad. The director of Anora gave a great speech encouraging people to return to watching movies in actual theaters and supporting independent filmmakers. And for that, I am going to I'm going to look something up here real quick. I'm trying to find something real quick. There it is. All right, so there is a new movie. If you're going to go see a movie at the theaters and you want it to be a really, really good movie, a heartwarming story, I would highly recommend going to see the new movie by Zachary Levi. Zachary Levi stars in it. It's called The Unbreakable Boy. And if you want to support a movie at the theaters this week, that is the one that I would go see. And I might go see it. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I definitely want to. It's called The Unbreakable Boy with Zachary Levi. It is about a family. It's from a true story, a family, and how, as a family, as parents, they respond to living with a son who is on the autistic spectrum. So, Film Thread also pointed out that they were missing both Todd and Trachtenberg in the in memoriam, as that they were too late. I wonder what happened there. Very, very sad. But we got to get to the main story here. Before we get to the main story, let's remind everybody that we love to celebrate on this channel. And if you have them ready, if you are a member of the channel, and I know we got new members because Izzo's Place dropped a membership today, and you're a new member, drop your custom emojis in the chat as we celebrate. Yes, indeed. It's time to talk about Snow Flop, everyone. As Dan's Live the Kingdom says, Snow Flop, everyone. Oh, my goodness gracious. What is up, Tuber Chat? Kevin is in the house. Share it on Reddit. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming in. Peggy's back as well. Came in for the last story. We were getting to the good stuff here. Pro has we all have our own celebration clips that are very different from each other, and that is kind of the whole point. I don't want to be, I love Pro, and I know him, and I try to exemplify him. Pro is fantastic, and I love everything that Pro does. Obviously, I try to emulate Pro in my own way, but with my own personality and my own dance stuff, and so it's like, you know, that's what we do. It's not all perfection over here, but yeah. So he's got his things, and I can't do the AI stuff that Pro's doing. It's crazy. So, and Equus Heart says, I honestly don't understand who people that defend the POS. The point of sale remake. I'm assuming you mean POS is in point of sale, right? So anyhow, Arlene Navo says, someone on the Film Threat panel asked how much Rachel got paid to smile and play nice last night next to Gal. That's interesting. Exactly, Peggy. I'm trying to just be fine as I am, although I am trying to lose weight. So there's that. Mira, how do you describe Snow White? Snow woke. Weird. Speaking of weird, we're going to get to our Snow White story for the day. Let's put it up on the screen. As a matter of fact, we're going to put this up big on the screen. There it is. Out of that Park Place, Snow White's box office projections plunge even lower as House of Mouse braces for looming Rachel Zegler financial disaster. Yes, it's unbelievable that they just kept on going with this. It's going to lose the company money. It's going to lose them a few $100 million at least, but this is where we are. This is by Mr. Montanaro out of thatparkplace.com. Just when it seemed like the box office outlook for Snow White couldn't get any worse, new projections indicate that the film is set to open even lower than initially expected. According to a leading Hollywood research firm, the live-action remake is now tracking for a $53 million opening weekend in North America, with estimates ranging between $48 and $58 million. Now, that's a significant drop from earlier forecasts, which had projected a $63 to $70 million debut. Now, I will say this about those numbers. Sometimes they come in right on the mark, and sometimes they're way over, way under. So they are just projections, but they are based off of current ticket sales, and tickets are on sale for this thing. So could this be one of those movies that Disney buys a lot of tickets for and people don't show up, which is not good for it's not even good for the theaters. Because theaters they make more money off of their, concession sales. I'm going to drink, by the way. But there they are, Snow White and the 7 CGI monstrosities. With just 3 weeks in, excuse me, I'm trying to read here. With just 3 weeks until its March 21st release, Disney's final marketing push is now in full swing, but whether it can change the trajectory remains to be seen. While some tracking services remain optimistic, pointing to supposed strong awareness among younger female audiences, these numbers represent a serious problem for a film of this scale. A disastrous financial outlook. Whew. The official budget for Snow White has been reported at $200 million plus, but insiders suggest the real cost could be well over $300 million due to extensive reshoots and production delays. That means Snow White would need to earn upwards of $800 million globally just to break even, a feat that now looks increasingly unlikely. For comparison, The Little Mermaid 2023 debuted with a $95.6 million domestic opening and still struggled to turn a meaningful profit despite grossing $569.6 million worldwide. Even Cinderella 2015, another Disney live-action remake, opened to a $67 million opening at that time, which movie tickets were far cheaper, and Snow White looks unlikely to match. To make matters worse, Disney's marketing approach has been inconsistent. First, positioning the film as a reinvention, then backpedaling in recent months by leaning heavily on nostalgia, even using footage from the original 1937 animated classic in a recent TV spot. Rachel Zegler's controversies still loom large. It's impossible to discuss the troubles surrounding Snow White without mentioning lead actress Rachel Zegler's role in alienating audiences from the beginning. Her casting drew attention, but it was her own comments that did the most damage. Zegler made headlines for calling the 1937 film dated and dismissing the prince as a quote-unquote stalker. She also made it clear that this Snow White would not be a love story, saying her version of the character wouldn't be dreaming about true love, but instead focusing on leadership. The attempt to reframe the classic story as something completely different rubbed longtime Disney fans the wrong way. Oh. Now, months later, Zegler has pivoted to a more corporate-friendly tone. Wonder why? Saying in a recent interview, Disney has found this beautiful and delicate balance between the animated classic that everyone knows and loves from 1937 and at the same time introduces it to this new generation. This change in messaging comes across as a transparent PR move aimed at repairing the damage done by her previous remarks. Marketing continues to shift focus away from Zegler. Disney seems to be aware that Zegler's not the most effective face for Snow White, as covered in previous articles. The studios steadily reduced her presence in trailers, cutting her screen time by nearly 50% in promotional spots. Instead, marketing has shifted the focus toward Gal Gadot's evil queen, likely an attempt to appeal to audiences who may be turned off by Zegler's past comments. Even the latest TV spot leans heavily on nostalgia, featuring significant footage from the original 1937 animated film, a stark contrast to the earlier messaging about the remake being a bold reimagining. Disney's risky bet and final marketing push. Despite these bleak Snow White box office projections, some within Hollywood still argue that Disney shouldn't be underestimated. They point to Mufasa the Lion King, which had a weak domestic opening of only $35 million, but ultimately crossed $700 million worldwide. However, Mufasa had the advantage of being a sequel to a billion-dollar hit. Snow White does not have that luxury. It's already facing widespread public skepticism, massive dislike ratios on YouTube, and a leading actress who has alienated core audiences. And additionally, the Snow White press tour is about to begin, and giving Rachel Zegler a live microphone every day for a few weeks is unlikely to help anything. At this stage, Disney's only hope is that its final marketing push, one that now leans on nostalgia rather than reinvention, can salvage the film's performance. But with projections dropping and costs rising, Snow White is shaping up to be one of Disney's most financially risky projects in recent memory. Yes, it is. And I think that there's going to be one major issue with this movie too, is that when it gets into theaters, we are going to see if they are pushing the nostalgia of the original Snow White and it gets into theaters and people who aren't dialed in go see it, but they see a Snow White that's nothing like the original. The word of mouth is not going to be good for this movie. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think that depending on what people want, because Rachel Zegler's vocals, she's a belter, right? So she belts her music. She doesn't sound anything like the timid, demure, motherly Snow White of the 1937 original Disney classic film. She's a belter. She comes across very different. I have often said that even though she's miscast as Snow White, she might have been properly cast as Belle. Why Belle? Because Belle has an attitude. Belle, I think the Hermione actress was horribly miscast, and I never remember her name. I just call her Hermione. But Rachel Zegler, if she would have kept her mouth shut and not been known to be the kind of have some of the horrible takes that she has, had she been cast as Belle in the live action remake of Beauty and the Beast, it would have been at least more proper casting, because Belle is a girl with an attitude who doesn't want anything to do with her town, and she also belts her vocals. So it would have been a better casting. So yeah, again, it has to do with it just has to do with poor decision making, poor casting. I think she was cast as Snow White because they wanted to change the character. And again, if people go see the Snow White thinking it's going to be like the 1937 film, and it's not, and they see the CGI monstrosity dwarfs, we didn't even get into the whole thing about what happened to the dwarfs in this movie, but I just think it's not going to be particularly very, very good. But you know what is particularly very, very good? You guys who are the energon that makes this guy, me, trans.
Hello, everyone. What do you want?
I hit the wrong button there. It makes me transform and roll out in the
A toast. Autobots.
Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy.
This stuff's the greatest.
This is funny. Yes, you're not wrong about that, Dumbear. It's absolutely that type of marketing. And if that marketing works to get people butts and seats in the initial weekend, it could backfire in the fact that if they're leaning into the nostalgia and they don't deliver nostalgia, it's going to be a huge backfire on the part of Disney. But hey, this is a good comment. They finally did it. They made a movie no one's going to pirate. That's for sure. Snow White could end up as a release, maybe not doing well at the theater and maybe on Disney Plus by probably mid-May. Mid-May is probably when they're going to have it on Disney Plus, to be honest with you. It'll be much bigger on Disney Plus. Speaking of Disney Plus, I'm looking forward to Daredevil. We're going to talk about Daredevil tomorrow. But before we go today, I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank you so much, Izzo's Place, for the gifted membership and that support. I appreciate that. And we are going to celebrate one more time. Thank you, Culture Bear. We're going to send you right over to Culture Casino right now. Thank you all for being here today. We'll see you with the Daily Dish tomorrow. Look for some new videos dropping on the channel today. And if you're wondering about the Cake Bake Shop, I dropped a new video on the channel that is a very quick video, easy watch, 6.5 minutes. No, not, barely over 6 minutes long, I think. Anyway, it's not that much over 6 minutes long. Go watch it. Watch the whole thing all the way through. The biggest thing that you can do to help out the channel is go back in, watch older videos, vlog videos, any kind of those videos, but watch them from beginning to end and hit the like button on those. I appreciate that. Appreciate that support. We're really trying to grow this channel up right now. I've got a little over 13,000 subscribers. I do not want to end this year with less than 25,000 subscribers, but I'd love to double that. So tell all your friends, tell your family, share this channel out on social media, and go in and watch the videos that are already up on this channel. Not necessarily the Daily Dish channels, but some of our vlog videos, our Orlando vlogs, our Disney vlogs. Check those out. Watch them from beginning to end all the way through. That does more than anything else that you can do. And I appreciate that. But right now, we are going to send you over to Culture Casino. Thank you so much for being here. Continue to learn, grow, have fun. And until the next time, we'll see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.